Next category is product and use. And this next group deals with a very, very tricky concept that so many of you talk about and think about and practice in a variety of different ways. It's a form of a testimonial in the architectural world. It's the scariest effort you could possibly make in advertising to an architect. It's all about picking the right project, the right setting, the right architect, combined with execution. One wrong move, it could go the other way. These companies all did a great job. The techniques were different for each, but each of them worked. And David, maybe you can kind of kick off this conversation. You actually liked the Decoustics ad, and you may not see the elements of this, but these are all products with products in place.
Yeah, the Decoustic ad in particular did a really good job of mirroring the product with the graphic overlay. And there's a really fine line, a geometric pattern that marks down the left side of the image that is overlaid on top of the ceiling and the photograph of the space. And what that does is it allows someone to basically imagine not only what this space might be, but also how it could be translated into something else. And I think these are one of the things that these ads did really well, which is to give you a sense of what it could be, but also allow the architect to imagine what they might be able to do in their own project. And I think that's one of the things that these do really well at imagining through the representation of someone else's product, not just how you'd imitate it, but more importantly, how you'd be able to transform it and make it your own. And that was done very well here with the use of a graphic overlay, because it gives me the sense of how I can imagine that pattern being transformed into my own work. And the combination of photographs and graphics, in this case, is synthetic as opposed to being two different pieces and taking up too much space on the page.
It's excellent. Maybe take a look at some of the other ones in there. We also have a fabulous project from Polson, and Real Cedar was an interesting choice as well. What was interesting about the Real Cedar advertisement is that all the men loved the Real Cedar ad. Is that because of the if you recall, Andre was everyone liked it, but it was a particular, the men really liked this. Why is that?
You should ask why women didn't like it.
It just seemed to be that was, I don't know, maybe just sort of the outdoor concept or something. But Bill, you mentioned the insert in there as well with regard to that advertisement.
Well, this is a very good ad, and I would raise 2 points about this ad in particular and sort of general. While this was an ad that did obviously get recognized, I think most of us felt that almost the insert of the small photograph in the middle that seems like a slide was a bit distracting. But it was an interesting project, good photography. Again, there's a consistency of attributes between many of these ads. But I think this series is a good series to just note that it's in your best interest, and this typically happens, but just to underscore, it's in your best interest to identify the project and identify the architect. And it's not about the architect's recognition as much as if the project you choose is interesting, catches our eye, and we're not familiar with the project, it gives us a little bit of information to be able to understand better, more about the project and find resources out there that help provide more information about your product, and perhaps even contacting the architect to ask them about your product.
That's a great point, actually, because when you do see something you like, you want to know how it worked. The Polson ad is just beautiful with that project, as well as the Wholesome, where you've got one is more of a perspective of the lighting in the ceiling and the use of it, and this is a beginning of a series for them, and it's very subtle. It's a very subtle way of doing it. And the Wholesome ad is a little bit more specific. They're really showing a product application. This is a Tom Main project, so it's known. And David, I know you really liked this one as well, didn't you?
Yeah, this one was in fact one of my favorite ads because it did something really well on the page with an efficiency of means, which was it presented a very close-up of the material that abstracted it, but also then showed you how it was going to inform the larger form of the building at the same time. And that jump between a very close-up and the faraway scale within one page was really good to be able to understand how this product could be manipulated, but also what it will produce as a totality. And the page reinforced that. It allowed you to sort of look into and imagine how that detail will be transformed, but at the same time provide you a sense that ultimately it's the totality of the project that is at stake, not simply the detail itself.